Hierdie program word geborg deur DigiCards.
Hallo en welkom weer by nog 'n uitsending hier in ons pragtige George. As julle reg kan onthou, was ons met ons laaste uitsending op 'n hopsplaas daar in pragtige Outeniqua berg. Dit ons nou besluit, dis nogal 'n oulike idee, want ons het nou gehoor al daai hopsplante gaan nou af daar na die brouerye toe en dan doen hulle 'n ding daar. Maar George het 'n klomp, ek wil nou nie sê kleiner nie, want julle outset is nogal groot. Saam met my is Jordan van 'n brouery, Outeniqua Brew Co. Thank you for joining us today and welcome.
And thank you for having me. It's
There we
a
go.
pleasure.
Jordan, I'd like to first know, you don't look like a very old person, so your career in this industry is still quite young. How did you get into this industry?
I started at a brewery when I was 21. So although I'm a little bit younger, I've been in the industry for already 9 years. I was very fortunate in my first position. I started at a startup brewery and I was the first employee. So I learned everything from scratch. I was part of every single part of the growth of that business. So that worked out as a huge grounding position for me to get this one going here as our now family-owned business.
Fantastic. So it's your family into it. How much different? I know when we just arrived, you said there's a big reason for the big boys to get involved, to put the plant in little blockies. Tell me a little bit about that, and then it comes to you, because
Yes.
the plants we know can't come to the smaller breweries.
Yes.
But how does that work now?
So in the industry of hops, it is much easier to use a hop when it has been pelletized. They'll take it to SAB Rob down the road here, where they will pelletize and package it after the drying in that format, and then freeze it, and then we can use those hops for many years. All of the oils are
There's the thing. So the little pellets mean it can maintain longer.
Exactly.
You can keep it longer.
Exactly. So all of the essential oils that are inside those hops that are what we then use in our beer are preserved for years to come.
So how does this process start? I see trucks stopping and then I see them walking into the back there. How does this, we're going to do a walkthrough just now,
Yes.
but maybe you can just verbally
So-
explain to us
So
a little bit about that.
everything starts with the mill. We mill up the barley, which is all locally grown here in the Western Cape as well. Malted in Caledon is our base malt and the one that we use most in our beers.
That's an addition now
That's
on
an
the
addition.
pellets.
So this is the primary ingredient in your beer would be barley.
Okay.
Hops add all the lovely aromatics and the bitterness to the
Dit leer ek
beer.
nou net hier.
There we go.
Okay, so dis twee produkte.
Absolutely.
Okay, en dan?
And so hops you only use about 1 gram to about 8 grams per liter, whereas
That's
your
why
barley
you need it to last longer,
There you
because
go.
you use little.
and then your barley you use much more.
Okay.
So your barley is where all the sugar comes from in your beers, which the yeast will then go and transform into your alcohol. So it's the base that it begins. So it starts in the mill. You mill your grains, add it to the mash tun. The mash tun is where the saccharification rest goes. Your starches then get converted to sugars, available for your yeast. Added to the brew kettle, and that's where all the lovely hops that we grow here in Georgia are added.
And how long is that process?
The actual full process of a brew day is about 6 hours, but in
that's really quick.
There we
so
go.
even if you run out, you can have by tonight.
So,
That's insane.
So there's 2 stages to it. The actual production of the beer before fermentation.
Okay.
So that's a 6-hour brew day is what it's called.
All right.
And then we transfer it to the fermentation vessels.
Okay.
Your ales will be 14 days from brew day to
There's a difference then, depending on
ready.
what kind of beer.
exactly.
So much to it.
The yeast varieties are what determine that. So an ale yeast ferments quite quickly, and what's called flocculates quite quickly, so the beer clarifies like that. Whereas a lager takes a little bit longer to process all of the sugars. You get a much crisper finish, but it also needs to stay in the tank a little bit longer to get that lovely crisp finish.
Okay, so
So
there's
that's
a
more
lot
like
of
21.
technicalities in it. But now here you are.
Yes.
In a lovely little space, right next to somebody that's also one of our favorite hangouts. Why would you want to do this? Your store is not massive, so
Yes.
you are supplying the locals with what you have here. But why would you want to do a business in this? How does this work?
I have a firm belief that every town needs a really good brewery. Your mass-produced products are generally pasteurized and they have chemicals added to them so they can last longer. Whereas if you brew it in smaller batches, you can make it fresh and it can be out to the
So
out
this
to the
is
public
really
much
the way to
quicker.
go.
That
Much
is-
more than your bottle store.
That's it.
Oh, fantastic.
So our batches are basically made and consumed within 3 weeks to a month, and you know that you're always getting a completely fresh product. and you're going to be enjoying it at its best.
And then what do you offer your public other than beer to come and sit here? What have you got on your menu? What
Yes.
makes your little shop
So
the shop?
other than just the beer, we have a lovely venue here to come and enjoy and see the whole process happening. We have a deli here next door, which supplies some awesome food. They're
Does your food come from the deli as well?
Absolutely.
Okay, so one can order off their menu.
yes.
Wow, dis die baan. Julle moet nou nie vergeet. Awesome. Okay, so jy het 'n menu. But before we go any further, let's go do a little walkthrough and you can explain the
Okay.
process to us.
Fantastic. Let's do
Okay,
that.
let's do that. Jordan, whoa. What are these things?
So we have some kegs being filled in the brewery at the moment. We're just busy racking the kegs from the vessels. We do wholesale our kegs as well to venues within the garden route.
So you're not only selling here, people come in and buy from you for themselves?
Yes, exactly.
Once again, it's because your product is not a mass-produced thing. So people will want the unique beer.
Absolutely, and all stock to our local outlets. Yeah, we don't do a huge distribution. It's all just in our little garden route area.
And are you doing very well locally with it?
Fantastically, we have huge support in the garden route. Everyone supports what we're doing, and they appreciate our product.
Fantastic. So this is your cold section.
This is the cold side of the brewery.
And what happens next door here?
Yes, here we go. So this
Okay,
is where the beer is actually made.
Okay. What are these things called? Kettles or what are they?
So this is the brew house. The whole system
brew
itself
house.
is the brew house.
Okay.
We have our mash tun. You can head up there
Can
and
I
have
go
a little
up?
look. And
Fantastic.
there you go. Now you are in charge.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. So we have the mash tun and the brew kettle where we extract all of the sugars from the barley.
Okay.
After that, we then process that and we take it to our brew kettle where all of our lovely George grown hops are added. The hops then add bitterness and lovely aromatic and flavor compounds to the beer. So that gives you all your spiciness, your fruitiness and all those compounds.
There's a thing that I'm noticing that is also something that you've said. It's very clean
Absolutely.
and this one's empty and it looks like if it was cleaned right down to the floor. Is that a big deal?
That is a massive thing in brewing. It's probably the most important part of what we do. Everything needs to be completely sterile. It's similar to a dairy. Everything needs to be sterile and sanitized because we only want the specific cultures that are inside the product to be there.
And not have the rubbish become part of it. So
That's
it
exactly.
has to be the real.
No other
guy.
bacteria, only the specific yeast culture that we choose.
Fantastic. Let's go
Let's
taste
go
what
and
you're
have a
talking
look.
about.
Absolutely.
Eh?
Perfect, but let's see the bottling line first.
Okay. Oh, so you have it on premises as well.
So one of the
Doesn't
things
have
that
to
we
go
do
somewhere.
Exactly. So one of our important things in the brewery is that everything is recycled. We go out in 440 ml bottles.
Yeah.
They come back. We have a little sterilization set as well. That we bring all the bottles back. We clean them. They come back onto the bottling line, and we can produce our lovely clean bottles. And
So
and
all your
ship them.
bottles are named your little
There
logo.
we go. We're
But tell us about your logo.
Yes,
That
so-
is so cool.
because we're in our garden route area here, where all the hops are grown. We're between all the three peaks.
And those are the three peaks
Those
on
are
it.
the three peaks on our little hop.
man.
And that is George, Craddock, and Fensterberg Peak.
Wow, that's so brilliant. That was well thought out. Let's go catch a taste.
Let's go and see what it tastes like.
Jordan, I see your prices. Is there anything that you can say, well, because it's this, it's got to be more, or it's more because, or your beer is more expensive?
So from this venue, I don't think you'll get any draft beer anywhere near our price. It's kind of like a little outlet price that we have for everyone.
So a brewery price is always a little more than the one in the shop because it's more fresh and it's now and it's today.
Not at this venue per se,
Okay.
but perhaps at another venue where we sell at wholesale, they're free to put what they would like onto the keg price. We are quite competitive because of our distribution chain is quite close.
Sure.
So we do try and stay quite competitive to the macro market, and obviously brings a nice price to all of our locals.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. We see that this ABV which one is alcohol? Do you have any of the alcohol content on this board?
Yes, so the two metrics that we have on the board is ABV and RBU.
No? Okay, explain that for
And
us.
the ABV is alcohol by volume, so it's
Okay.
that's the quantity of alcohol inside each beer.
Okay.
The styles of the beers kind of direct you to where you should be Lagers are a different percentage, and then some of your stronger beers, your IPAs, your
You touched
porters.
a little bit on that, so there is quite a difference in the brewery process of all these beers. They're all very specific.
That's it. So they have different ingredients in them, different types of malts, different hop varieties that add different flavors.
I have to ask, is there a limit to how high the alcohol's allowed? I mean, I see one there for 6%. That's not shabby.
Yes.
You need much less.
So there's no limit legally for beer.
Oh, I see.
It's generally determined by the yeast varieties that you use. They can ferment to a specific percentage of alcohol. So that would be a natural limit, but you can still do a few things to add extra
Well, this is
alcohol
what
to
you
it.
guys did with your ginger beer. I remember as a kid, we can do it with no alcohol, but I see yours do.
Yes.
And is it quite popular, ginger beer? 'Cause
Absolutely.
I think it's such a good drink.
So it's a farm-style ginger beer. We do just brew it to a 3.2%, so it has a little bit in there, nice little kick.
Well, I'm definitely going to try that when we're done. I've got to taste that.
Yes.
It's just such a beautiful drink.
Fantastic. We'll pour a lovely cold one for you now.
There we go. Thank you so much for your time, and we can just wish you all the best. It's such a lovely industry to be in, and I've learned so much. Ek weet nie van julle by die huis nie, maar ek het met beide die hops en vandag hier. Mens leer soveel goed van dinge wat jy maar net aanvaar. Dit is maar hoe dit is, maar dit is lekker om te weet hoe dit gewerk het. Tot 'n volgende keer van ons hier in 'n lieflike brouery hier in George. Lekker dag en tot 'n volgende keer. Totsiens.